Hi folks, I'm Rick Ufford Chase, the mayor of the city of Newport, Vermont, and this is Newport Notes with Rick, where I try and keep the community up to date on what's going on with the mayor and council and anything that's happening that I think you might be interested in the city of Newport. This will be a very brief session this afternoon. I have just 3 topics that I want to try and cover with you. The first is I want you all to know that the election, that is the ballot initiatives that are being considered by our voters in Newport, are scheduled for a week from yesterday. That is this coming Tuesday, the 12th of August. There will be 5 ballot initiatives, all related to finances in the city of Newport. We have covered this topic pretty extensively on Newport Notes over the last several months. So I'm not going to rehearse it again. We've held a public forum. We've had repeated conversations with City Council. And if you go to newportvermont.org, newportvermont.org, on the homepage, you will find a guide, a frequently asked questions document, as well as a really fun 10-minute podcast that was actually created by AI. We fed the frequently asked questions into an AI software system, and it came out with a really fabulous interview. So if you don't like reading long, dense documents, you can listen to the 10-minute interview on the podcast. I highly recommend it. And you can link to it right from the homepage. So please plan to come and vote. It's extremely important. And I'll make a point that I made in a recent letter I had published in the Chronicle. And that is that if you're one of those folks who have been waiting for a decade for something to happen on the empty block, what I like to call the development block, and what many folks call the hole or the pit here in Newport, I want you to know that this set of ballot initiatives are the first step that the community can take in beginning to lay the groundwork for the future development of our downtown. Until we get our own financial house in order, there is no possibility of doing the development work that needs to be done here. So please come out and vote. Consider all 5 ballot initiatives carefully. Come and vote, and I hope they will pass because I do think that they are leading us in the right direction. The second thing that I want to mention is that on Monday night this week, our council met, and they have decided to reopen the search for to fill a vacancy on the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission is the group that considers our bylaws and our zoning. They're the ones who try to think about the long-range impact of how development takes place in our community. It's a solid group of people, and there was a vacancy that was created when John Manette left his position on the Planning Commission in order to join the council last spring. So we are opening that search again, and we will be taking interested applicants. You can send a brief letter of interest or an email to Frank Cheney, who is our zoning administrator, and his email address is just zoning.administrator@newportvermont.org. That's zoning.administrator@newportvermont.org. And if you send him a note, the process will be that they'll collect some basic information about you, your biographical information, a letter of interest perhaps, and then the Planning Commission will reach out to do interviews, and they hope to come up with a slate of several people, 3 or 4 at least, that they think are qualified. They will take that slate of people back to the council for the council's review, and the city council will make a final decision on filling that seat, which we hope to do over the course of the next month or so. There's no crisis in the short term. We have a totally capable group of people already serving on the Planning Commission and doing a fine job. But it would not hurt to have a 5th person on that group right now. So please reach out if you have any interest in being considered for such a position. The last thing I want to mention has to do with the t-shirt I'm wearing today, which says, if you're having a hard time reading it, I want to own a grocery store and cafe with my friends. And I wanted you to know that there's a group of people who have been meeting now for about 6 months together with Rick Woodward, who is the current owner of the Green Mountain Natural Food Store and Cafe. Rick has encouraged this group to come together to consider what it might look like to convert the Green Mountain Natural Food Store and Cafe to a co-op membership or a co-op ownership of the the store and the cafe itself. And I'm very excited about this. This business is among the most important businesses in our downtown. It really anchors Main Street in many ways. It's a social hub where people come to hang out. You can get great food there, great lunches. There's good groceries. They have an amazing bulk food section. And in many ways, it already looks and feels like a traditional co-op. And to be honest, when the first time I think I walked in there a number of years ago now, I thought that it was a co-op. So there is a move to try and begin that conversation. There will be a public gathering, a chance for folks to come together and learn more about the idea of converting to co-op ownership of the store. It will be held on August 21st at 4:30 in the afternoon. There were many of the vendors for the natural food store who are there, with free tastings and a chance to talk with some of the folks who have been trying to put this plan together for some time. We're beginning to be much more open about it, as you can tell from the t-shirt. We want people who are curious to get in touch and to ask us if they have questions or they'd like to be involved, because in order for a co-op to work, there really needs to be strong community support and a lot of people who are going to want to step up and be owner members and help to provide leadership for this venture to work. If you want more information, you can find an events flyer that's been listed on both the Newport Downtown Development and the Green Mountain Natural Foods Facebook pages. So please come out for that event. It's going to be great fun. That's all I have for this week. I want you to know that I will be gone the next 2 weeks. I'm leaving to go on vacation on Wednesday of next week, and I will not be back until Sunday the 24th. So if you have any questions or concerns about what's going on in Newport, please feel free to call the city offices and or to write to me. I'll still be checking email at rick.uffordchase@newportvermont.org. Thanks again and have a good week.